research stage, and everyone was on a really serious research stage. It seems like it's in the consciousness. Everybody was doing it all over the country. Everybody was researching. And I think at the moment, the vibe that I get at the moment is everybody wants to get together. Everybody wants somewhere to talk to each other and wants to have this sort of community vibe, whether it be community living or groups like this, or in London I've been to the one of tribe stuff, the dancing, the shamanic stuff, and all of that, it's all linked in with like, we're not meant to be on our own, we're not meant to live on our own, we like community, and we like getting together, and we like having a good party. So I think we should all, the gathering last weekend was amazing, and I think we really need to congratulate Andy, Claire, Heidi and Craig for pulling it together, because it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of stress, and trust me, I cancelled last year. Because it's horrible, people send you emails asking really stupid questions and you think, you just leave me alone. I haven't had no sleep. So it's a hard thing to do to organise these things, so we need to support the people that do it. So the reason why I'm up here is I'm pimping something else. Is I'm involved in Unity TLC Productions, which are doing an event in Glastonbury from the 19th to the 23rd of September, so it's only a couple of weeks away. And this is the third time that they've done an event. This event's called Earth Dance. Now the idea is the festival is a co-op. It becomes a co-op because everybody who buys their ticket becomes a member and owns the festival, as it were. That festival then aims to buy land, so as the festival is produced and gets bigger and better, every time that the event happens, we can build alternative energy, different arts, everything that's involved in the festival can build onto the land. That's the end objective. It's only a small gathering. There's going to be a healing area, talk space run by Avalon Rising with a lot of speakers that overlap with Truthjuice actually. We've got a lot of speakers that are some of our favourites. A healing area, sauna and shower space, there's a creative area, there's a kids space, and it all culminates on the Saturday night, which is 36 countries all over the world singing to the same song at the same time to give a bit of love back to Patrick Mama and to give a bit of healing. And I think the reason why we're all being called together is our ancient practices and our ancient routines are a ritual and ceremony of coming together and saying thank you for the harvest and thank you for the moon and thank you for the sun and thank you man, we forgot how to say thank you. And I think all of these events, whether it be in the cricket club on a Tuesday night or taking seeds home or in the allotments or doing meditation or just smiling at your neighbour or trying to do a little bit of truth pimping whenever you're out and somebody looks confused about debts or CCTV or GM foods or all of those things, they're all important because as we move towards this new paradigm, whatever that is, I believe we've got to be a lot more conscious of our thoughts and our inner knowing, and I completely agree with what Wes said, is it's all about getting rid of all the other things that take our power and stepping into our own power. And what these events do is they empower ourselves and empower each other. We like a load of rechargeable batteries, and this sort of event and Unity gathering and Truthjuice gathering and all the other things that are happening all over the country, all over the world, they're to empower each other. So do go and do support it, and if you don't go, please help us promote it on Facebook or send it out to your emailing list. Anybody who's my friend on Facebook, you can send a link. I've done a whole day promoting today. But if you're interested, the tickets are £80 for the weekend, from the Thursday to the Monday, or £65 with concessions. Children under 12 go free, and children from 12 to 16 a £40 ticket. It's got everything there, it's amazing, and the idea is we've put the space together and then the co-op, the people who go to the festival, fill the space. So we're providing this space for people to be creative, and I think soon we step into our creative power, we're going to be amazed what we can manifest.
Thank you. I'm going to quickly get on with where is the address again?
Glastonbury, Ashcroft, it's 5 minutes away from Glastonbury Town Centre. It's an amazing site, it's really beautiful energy there, it's really on site. Yeah, all the details are on Facebook. If you've got any questions, come and grab me, or I'll give you one number and you have to give me.
chance to get the tent out again. Sorry. Right, I'm going to introduce Colin now, who's going to do 15-20 minutes on law, and then Sarah's going to do talk about astrology and what some of the signs mean, and then we might persuade her to sing the song, and Ken's going to do a couple of songs as well. So this is Colin, everybody.
My name's Colin Michael. Given names, that is. Fictional name is Colin Michael Stanley. Is anyone familiar with jurisdiction? Do you know what jurisdiction is? Okay. So basically, take this off, this is right, can you hear me? Jurisdiction is control and power. Now what the police do and the courts is they claim jurisdiction over you by acquiescence, by you not knowing who you are, right? So let me give you for instance, if you're approached by the police and they say, can I have your driver's license, or you, I want to work with you, does anyone understand what you means in legalese terminology? So, go on then, Roger.
They want you to be a statutory instrument with a title.
Yeah, but what does the word you mean in legalese?
That's a good question, I don't know, Colin.
Corporation.
Partly, yeah, okay. So you is the second person. Just put person.
Use the blue pen.
Sorry?
Use the blue pen or the black one.
Can you see that from there?
They need the red one.
Get closer then.
We'll get into that.
Okay, so just like you've got the straw man, Colin Michael Stanley, or capital letters when you get your mail through the door, anything like that, that's the straw man. But you is the second person, which is joinder to the straw man. Okay? So when you stand in court and the magistrate judge says, are you Colin Michael Stanley? Yeah? He wants you to commit joinder by answering to you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so you is supposed to be the plural, but we use it in colloquial language as the vernacular, right? So it's the same as the person, the capital letter name, which is if you receive bills through the post, HMRC, you've got the capitalised name on the driver's licence. How many people know that that's not Ben? Okay, so apparently. So what they're doing is for you to accept the liability of that fictional company, because corporations can only talk to another corporation. Now, you are the highest status on the planet, and man is the highest status, right? So, who would disagree that the creator can the created be greater than the creator? Is that possible? Okay, so we're all in agreement. That could be, let's just say for tonight's purposes, a fundamental law of the universe. I can't create something and the thing that I create be greater than me, okay? So the government is created by us. Man, yeah? So, creator, man, government. Now, to get jurisdiction, they have to fool us into believing that we're something other than this. So let's go back to the court scenario again. Man is the highest status that you can be on the planet because the Creator made man and gave man jurisdiction over the planet, right? Then man creates government. Now, the psychological trick that's been played through your indoctrination is that through your education you think you're subservient to the government when it's the other way around, okay? So, the ideology, just in quick terms, is I am is the most powerful sentence on the planet. I am. When Moses is standing on the top of the mountains and he says, "Who shall I say carved the tablets?" I am what I am. Right? So, as a consequence, you've been created by the Creator, who is I am, and you are part of I am. Now, believe it or not, the judiciary in this country knows all about this because they're using these words to gain jurisdiction over you through the fiction. Now, even if you know this and you go to the court and you say, "I'm not the name," well, who are you? Are you? You're. If you look at bills that have come to your door, it's you owe, you should pay, you must, you're. Now, these words that they're using are joinder to the person. So when you understand that certain legalese words, which are not colloquial, there are 3 languages in this country, 3 forms of English. One is slang, street slang, and you've got English that you've been taught at school, which you use colloquially together, and then you have legalese. Now these are legalese words. Now your true status as a man is king, as Santos was saying the other day, king, and we all should be kings and priests, because that's an understanding that we should gain while we're here on this realm. So, if you understand that your status is a man, no one can move you from that jurisdiction. So the concept of the card is that you go online, the card status says who you are, whether it be woman or man, and that jurisdiction is irremovable. You've got unalienable rights from that status, where the police officer would say to you, "You have the right for this, you have the right to do this." The government will say, "You've got the right to do this, you've got the right to do that." They can't give you any rights, and they can't take them away. But what they can do is interfere with your implementation of your rights. Okay? So, this is the way they do that, is through the you, through the person. And when you know that that's not you, literally, the person's not you, the capital letter name is not you, and you stay in this realm, there's no free man on the land, there's no sovereign, because God didn't create sovereigns, He didn't create free man. A man is inherently free, okay? So, with the concept behind the card is that if you know your own jurisdiction to be that of a man, and you can, if you come into contact with any form of authority which are trying to produce a name from you, a legal name, you're under no obligation to give it, you're under no obligation to even understand legalese. There's no law to say, oh, when you go to court, you have to understand legalese. There's a Roman maxim, actually, and my Latin is terrible, so you're going to have to bear with me. It says, non intelligit nisi unum, and it means one is not present unless he understands. Now, with the court, unless you understand, they can't take action. So there's no law to say that you have to go and study legalese and understand it. Now, a lot of us in the so-called freeman movement put all these documents together with such and such act, Magna Carta, blah, 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 Bill of Rights if you're in America or whatever. That's got nothing to do with me. Even the people who signed the Bill of Rights, it's got nothing to do with them because half of them didn't sign it. So if there's anything to do with a contract you haven't signed, you're not obligated to. Now there's a social contract, which, because we are a Commonwealth state, any Commonwealth state is implied consent. So because there's millions of us here, they just assume that we're all chattel and we're all slaves, right? Unless you rebut that assumption. And with the government or the judiciary, they're always going to assume that you're the worst form of status. They're not going to assume the best. They're going to assume that you're the worst. So, I mean, I was saying to Roger outside that one of their favourite things is, from the free man perspective, is putting the judge on his oath, right? Now, you can hand over jurisdiction orally as well as writing it down or by your actions, because my ideology is this is all ecclesiastical. Now, Santos is much better at explaining the ecclesiastical nature of it than me. But the fact that the Bible is in the court, the ecclesiastical nature from canon law through to the Vatican, everything's running from the church, right? So if that is a book that they're running the system off, and in that book it says no man can judge another man, then what's happening in the court? What's happening in the court? Come on, Roger.
You're right in what you say, but be careful. I've got 14 biblical references to the fact that a man can only be found guilty on the word of two or more other. In other words, you can't have a one-on-one because that's a standoff. So that's never going to happen.
Okay, so
The Bible actually states that you have to have two or more. There are 14, 15 inclusions, and this is reiterated in a number of books.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the judge. Who is the judge in the court?
It depends. There is a point if you don't get any jurisdiction.
Well, forget about their jurisdiction, because their jurisdiction is all to do with money and finance, isn't it? But let's just say you committed a crime, an actual crime, then the judge is the jury. The judge is the 12 people sitting on the jury, and the so-called judge is the referee.
It depends what the crime is.
If it's a crime, then you'll be in the Crown Court, and it's your right to have a trial by jury.
So you mean a crime against humanity, a common law crime rather than statutory?
A common law. Well, there isn't no statutory crimes, are there? There are offences.
Yeah, there are statutory crimes that are called criminal, but they're not. But they're called criminal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to give the weight to it, but it doesn't have it.
So what I'm saying is,
if you've committed a common law offence, you've got some other party in there that's gone, this guy beat the crap out of me. I will need to do something about it, Judge. What's the problem with that? I don't have a problem with that.
well, the judge can't do anything about it.
Yes, you can.
Let me get to his point,
He's just a referee.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's an arbiter in that situation. He's not the
Well, he
judge.
shouldn't be doing anything, otherwise he'd be practising law from the bench, you know that? He's supposed to stay neutral. Now, what I'm saying is, the fact that you go to the court and you say, Judge, are you under your oath? Then you've given over jurisdiction by calling him a judge. He already believes he's a judge. And if you say he's a judge, then you've got joinder. There's no controversy.
So in what capacity you're operating today, Judge? Are you under your guild oath or the public oath?
You don't call him judge at all. Greetings, John.
I didn't
Greetings,
say
George.
Judge. I said, in what capacity are you acting today?
Yeah. But what we're talking about and what's causing all the problem here is the fact that they're dragging us into these administration, tribunal, private meetings.
Not
aren't
in
they?
a common law
Let him
court.
finish what he's saying, Rod.
He's mixing two things up. If you've got
In a common law court,
it's
okay.
because
Where
somebody
is
else is having an argument with you. A third party has been agreed by you in a common law court. Somebody has brought a case.
The only
against
reason
you.
why you
in
got
statutory court, there's no victim. That's the difference.
Well, statutory, it isn't a court, is it? That's a private organisation, as we both know. So that's separate law, and this is proving my point. You're under no obligation to even deal with that bullshit. There is no law to say, I must understand legalese. Don't put it in your documents, and don't refer to it at all. And like I said before, this is getting onto a slightly more advanced topic. And there's a lot of people here who don't really understand what jurisdiction is. I'm trying to keep it simple. But the court is the paperwork that you send, and your status. Have you got something to work with?
I don't actually understand what they're talking about. So why do they freak out when I throw their paperwork away?
We shouldn't have it, we shouldn't have it. Am I right in thinking that at any point you can say, if a cop or a judge, are you Ian Reid? I can say, no, I'm his agent.
You've just given me to join the body, because are you is joined that to the second person.
No. Isn't it saying that do not be judged unless you judge yourself in the Bible, right? Yeah.
Sorry?
Doesn't it say do not be judged unless you be judged by yourself? Meaning that isn't it you that commit that ends up you have to end up admitting it yourself, basically.
Convicting yourself?
Yeah, convicting yourself, that's the right word, yeah.
Well, you do convict yourself, I mean...
Exactly.
Okay.
Do not, that's what I'm trying to say, that in the Bible it says, do not judge unless you be judged by yourself. I think that's right.
Lest he be judged.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you
Say
judge somebody,
corner.
you get judged as well.
Okay, so to start a sentence, you were taught that you use a capital I. Well, to capitalise is to take advantage of. Now, I'm talking about legalese here. As soon as you say that I, and you write that like that hieroglyph is like a man lying on his back with his head chopped off. You're in capitalised system. This is capitalism. Capitalism means to take advantage of. Now, if you write